Hello and welcome to Earth Unplugged. Today I've been set a really brilliant cheap shot challenge to take a photograph of a fish using my smartphone for less than £20. A little bit closer. Let's give it a go. Cross your fingers. That is looking lovely. I've come to a local fish store to try out a few techniques, but they would totally work in a pond or a stream. Just make sure if you do try it out, take a lot of care around the water and test all your equipment before you're putting your phone anywhere near this wet stuff. And do share your amazing fish shots with us on Earth Capture. We'll put a link at the end of the film. So you don't need a really expensive underwater housing for this. Just a freezer bag will do, that's about 9p, and an airlock clip, that's about 15p. But before you just put your phone in there and chuck it in a tank, we want to make sure there's absolutely no leaks. So if we pop a bit of tissue paper in there, do it up, roll it around, just pop the airlock clip on as well. So roll it around, leave it in there for a good chunk of time, and once you're happy, it's time to test. If the tissue is completely bone dry, and it is, then you're ready to put your phone in it and give it a go. So once your phone's in your bag, you just want to fold in the edges so that actually your camera lens is very tight against the bag, so you're actually shooting whatever's outside it, not just the edge of the bag. Clip it in. Right, let's give it a go. Hope that test worked. So it's hard to tell for sure, but those looked, I think, rather nice. Hey! That's actually come out much better than I thought it was going to. That is not bad for less than £1. But I've got some other ideas I want to try out too. So a slightly more expensive waterproof hack is to make a dunk box using a fish tank. It cost me just about £6, and what it allows me to do is see both above and below the water and get a lovely split screen effect. So with my hand in there, it's all a little bit close to the front and it's looking a little bit blurry and the frame's a bit odd. So instead what I'm going to do is tape the phone to the back of the tank, because that should give us a really nice wide, and then it should be nice and still, hopefully keep the horizon kind of normal, and I can just press the go button on top. So the next thing I want to do is fix this buoyancy issue. It's incredibly buoyant, this tank, so I'm just going to weigh it down with a little bit of sand so I can get it into the right position without having to really heft it the whole time. Hey, much easier. That's already looking much better, but I can see that there's a reflected sand staring back at me in the screen. That's just because there's so much light coming down into the tank, it's spilling around everywhere. So if I can block that light out, I think we might be onto a winner. So my cardboard roof is looking very nice, but actually there's still a little bit of reflection, so I'm going to go the whole hog and pop on a very sexy cape to try and just block out any light from the back. I'm going to look like a bit of a wally, but it's going to be worth it. Oh, it is. It's so worth it. Another, and actually much simpler option, is just to go for a waterproof housing. It might seem like cheating, but actually you can pick these up for less than £10. I'm going to pop it in the selfie stick. It's got a fantastic Bluetooth trigger. I can do it remotely from afar. But the trouble is, Bluetooth doesn't travel very well through water, so actually just at this depth, the signal's not going through and I can't trigger it. This waterproof housing has a special input for waterproof headphones. And the beauty of that is that you can actually use the volume control button to then take the photo. And that means when I put it on my selfie stick, I can send this down to the murky depths and trigger it right at the bottom of the pond. But the trouble with filming so deep is that it gets very dark very quickly. So I've blown the whole budget on a couple of underwater torches. So I'm just going to brace this light rig against the selfie stick so it's all in the right place and we're lighting the right sort of thing for the camera. So one thing that's really important when you're lighting a subject is you don't want the torches pointing too far inwards, because then you're just lighting up the debris directly in front of the camera and actually blocking your subject. You don't want them pointing too wide or too far away, because then you're not going to light your subject at all. So it's a little bit of a fine science, but we'll try it out and see how we go. And we're away. And that looks like it's lighting up the fish really nicely. There we are. And actually it makes my life a bit easier when the camera's far away, knowing exactly where it's pointing. Okay, and trigger. Pretty happy with that one. Oh, nice. I think we actually got some quite cool shots there. I hope you agree. Remember, if you want to try any of these smartphone hacks, please test the equipment first. Don't get your phone wet at any stage. And if you've taken some amazing photos, do share them with us on Earth Capture. And if you've got hacks of your own, let us know in the comments below. And we'll see you next time on Earth Unplugged. Hello and welcome to Earth Unplugged. Today I've got another brilliant cheap shot challenge, this time to get a bird's eye view. And that means making a drone for less than 50 quid. That's looking pretty cool.